Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sidebusters.
Throwing strikes, being efficient with our pitches, making those routine plays, and having a great approach at the plate. So I'm just keeping things simple and just building up that team chemistry as much as possible, I think, will help you win some games.
1-2. Swing and a miss as the Sodbusters strand the bases loaded to keep this a tie game.
This one is bounced back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Printer around third.
Our fans recognize that, and they know that it's a family atmosphere at our place, and that's what we like.
To the left side and through for a base hit. The go-ahead run scores as Jensen delivers once again.
This one, the lightest of light hits. He gets an RBI single.
I think it's just a great experience, getting kids from all over the country to come in and play together.
Catch the spirit of the game, the Hastings Sidebusters.
Welcome back to Duncan Field for game number 2 of our doubleheader versus the Nebraska Prospects. The Hastings Sodbusters taking the field for this second game, and strap in. Going to be a late Saturday night here. It was almost 2.5 hours of game time for that supposed to be 7-inning doubleheader, but it was actually a 9-inning contest as the Sodbusters fell just short in the last game. And we'll get you through our starting lineups here real quick. First for the Nebraska Prospects, who will come up to bat first. Luke Bees leads off and plays shortstop. Elliot Peterson bats second and designated hits. Batting third is Corey Kozad, who is catching. Playing center field and batting fourth is Ashton Graff Rowe. Trent Berry bats fifth and plays third base. AJ Lucas bats sixth and plays first base. Jackson Trout bats seventh and plays right field. Jacob Perrin bats eighth and plays left field. And Paul Schuyler bats ninth and plays second base. Cameron Pickens on the mound for the Nebraska Prospects. And your starting 9 for the Hastings Sodbusters is Drew Vega leading off and playing second base. Josh Printer batting second, playing shortstop. Ryan Jarvis batting third, playing left field. Cale Jensen batting fourth and designated hitting. Jack Borgman batting fifth and playing first base. Tyler Welsh batting sixth and playing third base. Yamato Sato batting seventh and playing catcher. Kyle Hiltbrand batting eighth and playing right field. And Alexio Delgado batting ninth and playing center field. Jude Sundquist is on the mound for the Hastings Sodbusters, who are just about to get underway and will try to snap a 3-game skid. Jude Sundquist gets the start as the Sodbusters will play another 7-inning game here this evening, and we are figuring out where the sleepover spot's going to be after all is said and done. Jude Sundquist making his 6th appearance this evening. Will just be making his 3rd start. Came against Fremont on June the 15th. And on the season, Jude is a 6.77 ERA pitcher and has a 2-1 record. Here we go. Game number 2 as we get set to go. Just a bit past our 25-minute mark. And the first batter is Luke Bees, who fouls it back to the screen. It is 1 ball and no strikes. Prospects improved to 5-8 with their win just a few moments ago. The Sodbusters fall to 13-8 and lose their 3rd consecutive contest. Luke Bees did not get the start in last game. Well, he will be seeing his first playing time in this series. Swings and misses at the fastball from Sundquist, 0-2. Jude Sundquist will see a 4-seam, a curveball, and a slider from the South Dakota State product. Also got to feature him on our Sodbuster Spotlight episode. Well, you can hear everything he has to say about his experience at the Sodbusters on our Sodcast on Spotify. Luke Bees fouls the foul ball back to the screen. This is Ryan Valenta. Steve Stein's with me as well. We've got our usual guys doing the numbers next door as well. And we'll be here for the rest of the contest, and we'll see you tomorrow as well to finish up this 8 games in 7 consecutive days. 0-2 pitch. Just misses. Didn't offer on the check swing either. So it goes to 1-2. Daniel Roth and Braxton Art, the umpires. Roth behind the plate in this game and Arndt in the field. So they flip-flop after their first game. Sundquist gets his sign from the catcher, Yamato Sato. Swing and a miss. Went with the slider that absolutely disappeared. And strike 3 on Luke Bees.
Jude Sundquist outstanding at his last outing, and that was a part of the doubleheader in the wins over Fremont. He went 5 innings, allowed no runs, 2 hits, struck out 5, walked 3. So hopefully he can put up another good performance and give the Sodbusters a fighting chance in this one.
Sodbusters had so many opportunities to win Game 1. And like we mentioned, after a 1-0 game through 4 innings, we thought this is going to be maybe a 3-1 or just a few more runs. Not the case. That one went a long ways, longer than we expected, in the 8-6 win for the Prospects. Elliot Peterson bats. He is the designated hitter and swings and misses at the curveball. 1 ball and 1 strike. In the first game, Peterson was 0 for 4, but he did drive home an important run in the 8th inning to give the Prospects a brief lead before the Sodbusters would eventually tie it. So 0 for 4 with an RBI in today's contest. Fouls it back to the screen, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sodbusters coming into the game, coming into today, hitting .251 as a team. And they had scored 69 runs before their 8-run performance in Game 1. The 1 ball, 2 strike pitch from Jude Sundquist. Strike 3 called. Roth rings him up. 2 up, 2 down via the way of the K for Sundquist.
Important for the Sodbusters to come out, get early zeros on the board, maybe get the momentum back and find a way to jump on this Nebraska Prospects team early. You don't want to see them fall behind after that disappointing way that Game 1 ended.
Prospects lost 5 of their first 6 to open the season before they won 2 games against Oahe and Casper. They hit another 3-game skid in the middle of the season. And they actually had an entire week off from last game just a few moments ago and Fremont last Friday. But they've gotten wins in 2 straights now. Look out, high and tight to Corey Kozad. Kozad, the catcher for the Nebraska Prospects in this game. Kozad was the designated hitter last game, so him and Elliot Peterson trading places. He just got his tower buzz, so he'll take a moment to recoup with a 1-1 count. Sodbusters getting a few more guys in their lineup, as well as the Prospects getting a couple of new guys as well. We'll tell you about them when they come to bat. Count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Jude Sundquist, a tall left-hander from South Dakota State. First, the 2-1 pitch to Corey Kozad. He sprays it out of play to the right side. Sundquist in his spring season made 3 appearances for the Jackrabbits. And one of them he made an appearance at the University of Nebraska. And I apologize, those are the...
If we strike out the side this inning, Coors Light's going to be half price for the rest of the first inning.
Sorry, I was listening to Jason Frews. Nate Frew. One of the Frews down there. Whoever the heck that is.
Frew of the night.
If Corey Kozad strikes out here, then they're going to get the beer batter deal. But now a 3 ball, 2 strike counts. But Jude Sundquist did make one of his appearances on the mound in Lincoln versus the Cornhuskers, which was an interesting appearance. That was actually his last appearance of the season on May 8th. 3-2, grounded, foul. Oh, nice snag down there by the head coach of the Prospects, Gabe Shemwell. Went down and snagged it. Sundquist made 8 appearances, in his spring time with the Jackrabbits, a 14.85 ERA. Struck out 6. As that's ball 4. Just misses And a 2-out base runner for Corey Kozad and the Prospects. It'll bring up Ashton Graff-Rowe.
Guy who batted leadoff in the first game of the day, so a little bit of versatility for him. Got him in the cleanup spot here for the second game.
So we've seen 3 guys who played in game 1, but lineup's going to look a little different after him. Graff-Rowe fouls it back out of play for strike 1. In the leadoff spot for Ashton, he was 0 for 5 on the day, but did score a run. He was the free runner in the 8th inning, part of extra inning rules, and came around to score. Kozad leaves away from first. Sundquist pumps it home. Fastball, blew it by him. No balls, 2 strikes. Even with the late evening, Sodbusters still have a healthy crowd here at Duncan Field. Duncan Field features spacious outfield, as you may know, 370 to left field, 367 to the corner, 405 to the alleys, and 408 to dead center field. Big lead at first, and they're to throw over there as Corey Kozad was getting a little bit too far off first. Don't think he was stealing. These 2 teams will play one other game tomorrow at 6:30. Then the Prospects will have 3 days off. Both teams' next opponent will be the Fremont Moo. Then again, the last of the first half of the Independence League season is tomorrow. The Casper Spuds have already locked up that game, or that title, called Third Strike. Ashton Graff-Rowe goes down looking, and Jude Sundquist with 3 punch-outs in the first inning to make this a scoreless game after the top of the first inning. We'll be back with the Busters coming up.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Dog Roll Patrol provides reliable and professional pet waste management services in the Hastings area. Hire Dog Roll Patrol today and spend more time enjoying your furry friends and less time cleaning up after them. Depending on your location and number of pets, Dog Roll Patrol will work with you to come up with a schedule that best fits your situation. Dog Roll Patrol takes great pride in their work. Family owned and operated out of Hastings. Get a free quote and details on the services at dogrollpatrol.com.
Sodbuster Baseball is back in the bottom of the first inning, with Hastings having their top of the lineup due up Drew Vega, Josh Printer, and Ryan Jarvis. And they will go against the prospect starter in the form of Cameron Pickens. Pickens will be making his 4th appearance. It'll be just his first start this season. Pickens in those 3 games, 7 1/3 innings pitched, has an 0-1 record. Has allowed 11 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts to a 10.50 ERA. Opponents are hitting .412 off of Pickens, but those are just his first 2 contests. His last appearance came a much shorter at relief appearance against Fremont, where he set down the only 2 batters he faced. But in starts 1 and 2, he gave up 5 runs in game 1 and 6 runs in game 2. Pickens, one of the guys who was on this Nebraska Prospects roster last year and spending his second summer on the road in travel baseball. Look at the defense behind the starter there. From left to right field, Jacob Perrin, Ashton Graff-Rowe, and Jackson Trout. From third to first base is Trent Berry, Luke Beese, Paul Schuyler at second, and A.J. Lucas at first base. Doing the catching for Cameron Pickens is Corey Kozad. Leadoff hitter Drew Vega continues to impress. Extended his offensive hitting streak to 8 games after the last game. And he'll go for number 9 in this 7-inning contest. Pickens ready to deliver pitch number 1. And Vega takes ball 1. Vega made the last out of the last game where he was called out on strikes to end the ball game. And he takes ball 2 up high. Vega in that first game had 2 hits, which came in his first 2 at-bats. But since then, he went 0 for 3, saw a total of 6 plate appearances. And he's ahead in the count 3-0. Vega, one of the many Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys, and also good friends with our good friend Marcos Cabranes. That was a good tidbit of information there. If you're in with the Marcos Cabranes, you better make yourself known because you're a right-hand man to Sodbuster royalty. We miss Marcos. Hope he's doing well down in Arc Tech. Spent his last season with the Wonder Boys this year and had a much better spring than what he did in his junior season. And we also hope some of the other Arkansas Wonder Tech boys are doing good down in their hometown. A couple of Sodbusters away for the wedding of former Sodbuster great Nick Jones this weekend. Sawyer Duddleston, Leo Sarnataro making the trip down there. So that's, if you're wondering why you haven't seen them this weekend, down for the wedding of Ice Cream Jones. So Vega's on board with a leadoff walk. Here's Josh Printer. The 0-1 pitch is a high strike called for strike 2. Corey Kozad, the catcher, didn't frame it like he thought it was a strike, but gets the call. Josh hit the ball hard twice in his first game. Did have 2 hits. I even say he hit the ball hard 3 times. He had the game-tying single in the 8th inning, which ended up coming home on an error. But you still credit him for putting it in play and making the prospect defense give up the run. The 1-2 is instead a pick over to first. Scheduled 7-inning contests. Just for everybody's sake, we'll hope for a much smoother game here. 1-2 pitch to Printer. Swing and a miss. Printer down on strikes for out number 1.
Good high hard one from Pickens, and Printer could not catch up to that one. A final from the Independence League today. Spearfish defeated the Plainsmen 5-1. Casper has an 8-2 lead in the 7th against Oahe as they try to put the finishing touches on this good first half for them, as they have already clinched the first half division. The second half will begin on Monday.
So the Sodbusters, who will look to finish in second place in the Independence League division, they still have to avoid Fremont and Spearfish. They are a game and a half ahead of both of those teams. His first pitch to Ryan Jarvis, it's fouled off. So if Casper wins the second half as well, then they take the second place finisher that is eligible for the postseason. So Sodbusters are able to find their way and finish at least second. In the second half, we could be playing some postseason baseball with the Spuds. We'll just have to see how that turns out. Jarvis takes ball 1. The catcher, Corey Kozan, thought about throwing down to first. Just a look ahead to the schedule in the second half. Start off with 3 games at Fremont, 2 days off. A 2-day series with the Oahe Zap. They're going to see Oahe 5 times in the second half. They'll see the Plainsmen twice more. Casper is going to be the main opponents. There goes Vega on a delayed steal, and this time he's in there. Saw Drew Vega caught stealing in the first game, but he steals the bag safely this time.
Get him into scoring position with 1 out. Love to see early offense here for the Sodbusters. Jump on top and put a little pressure on this prospects team.
2-1 to Ryan Jarvis. Specifically for Casper in the second half, the Sodbusters are going to play 7 straight games against Casper from July the 8th to the 14th. 4 games here at Duncan Field, and then they'll go on the road for 3 games. Jarvis slashes it foul. Ooh. Joel Skipper, look out. He was inches away from getting decapitated down there. My goodness.
He didn't try to catch that one.
No. Wow. Don't think we caught that on the screen there, but Joel Skipper going down to the ground.
I think he's getting some heat from the dugout right now, or he's just having a moment with his players as he looks over, smile on his face.
I don't think I would have any words. I would just be speechless. My own players trying to put me out of my position. Jarvis down on the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pickens tries the backdoor breaking ball, but it's just outside. Sodbusters will not see the Prospects again after this game until the end of the regular season. Over a month from now, July the 25th through the 28th for 3 games. Full count pitch to Ryan Jarvis with 1 out in the bottom half of the first. Pitch is swung on and missed. High fastball, Jarvis could not catch up. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cameron Pickens. Another interesting point about the end of the season. Last season, we got to play Fremont to close out the season and played some banana ball. Would love to see that again this season, but with the Nebraska Prospects, maybe have to convince them to see if they're down, or maybe the Sodbusters will be in too much of contention for maybe a playoff spot and may not be able to have that. Swinging first pitch, Cale Jensen comes up empty for strike 1.
Fans really had a good time with it, and you look at it, there's really not – I thought there was an off day sometime late in the year, maybe July 19th. They were thinking about maybe talking to another team from another league and bringing them up for an exhibition, but nothing official on that.
That's the last off day before the Sodbusters will play 9 straight days to end the season. Swing and a miss by Jensen. No balls and 2 strikes. Sodbusters in danger of squandering the leadoff walk. And left base runners killed the Sodbusters once again last game as they left 15 men on base in that 9-inning contest. Jensen fouls it back to the screen. It stays alive. A lot of those base runners came late in the game, leaving the bases loaded in the 6th inning and the 7th inning, leaving 2 on in the 8th and 1 on in the 9th. So just 8 men left on base in the final 4 innings. Yikes. Jensen saw a pinch hit appearance in the first game and did not start, and he's down on strikes. After the leadoff walk, Cameron Pickens blows away the next 3 Sodbuster hitters on strikes. Nothing doing after the first inning for both sides. We'll be back with inning number 2.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters Baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Back at Duncan Field for inning number 2. Jude Sundquist back out on the mound. And he will make his second inning of work. And Jude, one of the guys who throws pretty hard. And according to our flight scope data, we've confirmed this, he's sitting in the 90s, the low 90s, at about 90 to 92, topping out at 93 on the heater. It's been a while since we've seen a sodbuster do that. Remember last season we had Hayden Zaffino, who came on late in the season. He was a high 80s pitcher, but really last year for the Sodbusters, no real velocity on the team. Jude Sundquist providing the velocity here. So both pitchers allow a walk in the first inning, but strand it. And both pitchers strike out 3 in the first inning. So let's keep that up, boys. Let's get a nice 1-0 ball game with 10 strikeouts by both pitchers. A-okay with that. Trent Berry is the leadoff hitter for the Prospects. Checks his swing on the pitch into the turf. Hits 2 balls and no strikes. They do check down to first and no swing.
But let's take a sodbuster run somewhere along the way, and just win it in 6.5. Don't have to walk it off.
Nope. Yes. Otherwise, we're going to be setting up tents here on the field tonight. Look out! That one plunks Trent Berry on the shoulder. He'll rub some. I guess you can't really rub any dirt on it. Maybe rub some turf on it. That's what they always told me growing up. Rub some dirt on it. It'll make it all right. I even got a shirt as a kid. That's what the baseball moms told us. Rub some dirt on it if you get hit by the pitch. A leadoff batter on board in the form of Trent Berry. Here's A.J. Lucas. Pickoff throw to first is not in time. A.J. Lucas seeing his first playing time in the series. Bellevue East graduates. Played college baseball at Moberly Area Community College. There's the first pitch to him. It's way up high for ball 1. On the season, Lucas an 0.71 average. He is just 1 for 14 in this summer season. And that one hit came June 9th against Casper. Big swing and a miss on the fastball upstairs. In the 2 games against Hastings earlier in the season, he saw pinch hit appearances in each time, and he was retired in both of those. He's only struck out 3 times, too, so just getting a little unlucky at the plate. 1-1. Foul back to the screen. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got Trent Berry at first, who was hit by a pitch. Jude Sundquist lighting up the radar gun here. Sitting in the low 90s for the Sodbusters. 1-2 pitch. Foul back, and that gets out of play. Good protect mode for A.J. Lucas. That was the breaking ball there. Again, Jude Sundquist throws a 4-seam curveball and a slider for his arsenal. One-two pitch with nobody out in the second. Good take. Try to check out on the field and did not go. Yamato Sato, the catcher behind the plate. He came into the game late as a defensive replacement. Felt pretty strongly that Lucas offered at it, but does not get the call. Now 2-2 pitch. Berry still at first. Down low blocked. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Saw the Sodbusters erase the walks demon in the first game of the season, or first game of the series. Make sure it doesn't rear its ugly head again today. Runner on the move, but it's ball 4. Sato has to get to it. The runner, Berry, doesn't realize it. No further chance for him to advance. And the second walk and third free pass issued by Jude Sundquist.
Not a good sign as Nebraska looking to take advantage, get into the lower part of their batting order, and they've got pretty good dudes up and down as they try to take the early lead.
So now it'll be Jackson Trout. That name might sound familiar. If it does, Jackson Trout was a Nebraska prospect last year. But he's making his season debut here today.
He's really good a year ago. 315, 26 RBIs, and 26 runs scored for that team last year, which went 25-9. They were loaded last summer.
Yes, last season the prospects were the team to beat, and they would have likely made the Independence League playoff if they were eligible. Had a bunch of Wayne State guys and UNO products as well. Lots of in-state talents. Jackson Trout specifically versus the Sodbusters in 9 games, 381 average. 8 for 21 against the Sodbusters. And also drove home 6 runs. He was also used on the mound as well, was Trout, but not against the Sodbusters. Pitch in there for a strike. Trout down at the count, 1-2. First 2 have reached for the prospects, trying to break home the game's first run. Sodbusters scored first in the first game in the 3rd inning. They have scored first in most of their home contests. 1-2 inside, skips off the glove of Yamato Sato, and that allows both runners to move up.
Pitch count already a little bit elevated for Jude Sundquist as we are now on our 11th batter of the game and we haven't had a ball put in play. Hopefully the defenses can stay on their toes. It gets rough when you're just seeing walks and strikeouts all the time.
Almost takes you back to the Little League days when you're out in the field and just groaning, ugh, I'm bored out here.
Look, a butterfly.
Well, they still got a 2-2 count here. We'll see what Sundquist can do. He's looking for the strikeout here. It's up high for ball 3. Sundquist has gotten ahead of most hitters. And 2 of them he has lost. He has been ahead. That walked. Now in danger of walking his 3rd. Long look in. Him and Sato decide on a sign. The payoff. Ground ball to the right side. It'll get a run home. And Trout is retired at first. RBI ground out for Jackson Trout, and the prospects strike first, 1-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, a ball has been put in play, and it results in a run batted in, and just too many free opportunities there. As already seen the 2 walks and the hit batsman of that entire first game for the Hastings Sodbusters. The pitchers doing a good job of only 2 free passes and no hit batsmen in that first game.
The first run is across. A.J. Lucas moves up to 3rd. It's runner on 3rd with 1 out. Now the batter is Jacob Perrin. Jacob Perrin was the center fielder in game 1. He's now the left fielder. He had a hit. Part of that big 6th inning for the prospects. But just one for 2 on the day. Actually, make that 1 for 4. Past the diving first baseman, Jack Borgman, into right field. That's an RBI single for Jacob Perrin. Prospects have 2 on the board here in the 2nd.
And the free passes do come back to haunt the Hastings Sodbusters as already down 2-0, top half of inning number 2 with their number 9 hitter coming up.
So the 9th man to the plate in the ball game to finish out the prospect order. It's Paul Schuyler. Paul Schuyler seeing his first time in the series, Bellevue East guy. Played last season at Cloud County Community College, but will be heading to the University of Nebraska, Omaha in the spring. They check on Jacob Perrin over at first after he singled home the game's 2nd run. And Paul Schuyler, the batter. First pitch to him is a curveball that finds the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Skyler only played in 5 games so far this season, in the 13 for the Prospects. Excellent average, though, 357, 5 for 14. A 1 pitch. Catches the inside corner for strike 2. Nothing and 2 with 1 out. Approaching 10 o'clock local time. Sun nowhere to be found here in this summer day. If we haven't already, we've got to be approaching the summer solstice here.
June 20th. It's summer.
That's already it. So the days are only going to get shorter now.
Getting cold.
Runner on the move on the pitch, and in safely at second base is Jacob Perrin. So he was on the move with the pitch, give him a stolen base. And he's in scoring position with 1 out.
Really haven't seen the run game come to the fruition. This is a Prospect squad which had stolen 32 bases at their first 12 games.
They're almost like the Fremonts of this year. Fremonts were the big base stealers of the Independence League last year. Called strike 3. Good spot on the breaking ball. Skyler caught looking for the second out of the game. And that will put 2 outs back to the top of the order for Luke Bees. 4th strikeout for the first time through the order for Jude Sundquist. Crowd very quiet, just eagerly taking the game in on this Saturday night. No fanatics screaming and shouting at all. First pitch, that one to the backstop, and it'll be over to third. On the wild pitch by Jude Sundquist. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Luke Bees. Sodbusters giving opponents too many free bases, free opportunities, walks hit by pitches, wild pitches. Whatever the name of the game, just been a thorn in the side. The Sodbusters have not been able to dig out. So Luke Bees 0 for 1 with the strikeout, faces a 1 ball, no strike count. In the air, short center. Actually, it won't get to center. It's going to stay on the infield for Drew Vega. Makes the catch just a step on the outfield grass. 2 runs on just 1 hit for the Nebraska Prospects as they take a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the second inning.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back, or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris, plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
Bottom of the second inning, we go back to the Sodbuster lineup in 5, 6, and 7. They'll go up against Cameron Pickens once again. Just got an update, and speaking of which, College World Series starts today. Game 1, Tennessee and Texas A&M, the Aggies, with the 9-5 lead over the Volunteers in the bottom of the 7th inning in Omaha. That is a best-of-3 series. The Tennessee Volunteers, the #1 overall seed, were the first team in a couple of decades, I believe, to make the College World Series final. So that will be a game tomorrow and Monday if necessary. But back here to our College World Series at Duncan Field. Jack Borgman takes a swing and foul tips the first pitch for strike 1.
I don't know about you. I was so excited to see it. All Southeastern Conference final and all Southeastern and ACC in the World College World Series. Like, great.
Yeah, that was kind of a groaner there. That was, I mean, they're the dominant league, but Big Ten, what are we doing? Come on.
Well, just, Big 12, let's see somebody, some Cinderella. Where's Stony Brook? Let's give us somebody to root for.
We had plenty of Cinderella teams in the College World Series last year. Oral Roberts making it. Mm-hmm. They were the team to root for. Yeah, just that SEC, ACC dominance this year. Too much to handle. Jack Borgman fouls that pitch out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Kentucky was a nice story. They're making their first ever College World Series. That would have been, even though it is a Southeastern Conference team, and you've had a few of those that, like Ole Miss hadn't won a title here, and then they won it here in recent years. So at least you've had different Southeastern Conference teams.
Jack Borgman picked up his second hit of the homestand, and he grounds that over to the shortstop. And making the play, just getting the runner in time, is Luke Bees for the first out of the inning.
Good play. Borgman made it closer than I thought he was going to, and the first ball put in play by the Sodbusters comes to lead off the second inning.
Well, Borgman trying to break out of a major slump, coming into one game earlier this week, 0 for 33. Finally got a hit just a few days ago, and then got another hit last night to make it 2 hits on the homestand. Tyler Welsh bats with 1 out, and he is taking strike 1. Second pitch, swings and misses. Cameron Pickens looking real good so far. After allowing the leadoff walk, it is now 0-2, and Pickens appears to be in control. Just misses there. Corey Kozad pointed out his pitcher right as he caught it, trying to sell the call and influence the decision of home plate umpire Daniel Roth, but close but no cigar there. I applaud the effort, though. Tyler Welsh down on the count 1-2, and takes strike 3 right down the middle for the second out. 4th strikeout for Cameron Pickens, and he's set down 5 in a row now.
That looked like a really good pitch. The last 2, I thought both were strikes.
Yeah, that third pitch definitely could have been called a strike, but that other one was no doubt a strike. Yamato Sato bats, and he sends the first pitch out of play to the right side. Sato came on as a pinch hitter in the last game and a defensive replacement. He struck out in his only at-bat today. Bases empty, 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Sodbusters trying to climb out of a 2-0 hole. Prospects getting on the board early with 2 second-inning runs. Again, this is just a 7-inning contest. For the
Maybe.
Second. Oh, okay. I don't even want to think about that right now. If we're tied at 7, or if we're tied at the end of 7, we're just calling it a broadcast and we're going home.
I'm sorry.
Steve,
I'm so sorry. It's okay.
Oh, that's good, though. I wasn't even thinking about that, but now I am. Thank you, Steve.
I brought up the fact that since we played 9, can we make this a 5-inning game? But nobody seemed to
14,
respond to that.
We're supposed to play 14
yeah,
total innings.
Sorry. We get overtime if we have more than 14.
1-2. That just misses. Good spot on the fastball, but just missing the zone.
Put it in perspective. It's Saturday night. We're watching baseball. And we get to talk about it. We get to talk about baseball for some 7 hours today. It's awesome.
There you go. 2-2 pitch. That just missed. Kozad and Pickens thought they had Sato struck out, but it's not quite. According to our flight scope, just a bit outside. So good zone so far for Daniel Roth, our home plate umpire tonight. Now it's a payoff pitch. Sato just fouls it down the third baseline. So 3-2 pitch. once again for Yamato Sato. Been a fun guy to watch as strike three is called. That one appeared to be outside as well, but too close to take. And the Sodbusters are retired in order. 1, 2, 3. Nothing doing. After 2 completes, it's the Prospects 2, the Sodbusters nothing. Top of the 3 after this.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
2-zip. Busters trailing. Still looking for their first hits, but we'll look to get another 0 on the board. They did that in the first inning, but not the second. Jude Sundquist back out there for his third inning. And now we will send the game for the middle innings to Steve Stein.
26 pitches for Jude Sundquist during that struggle of a second inning for him as he hit one, he walked one, allowed an RBI ground out and an RBI single. 2-0 Prospects on top, trying for the sweep today after the matchup in Game 1 saw Nebraska defeat Hastings by a score of 8-6 in 9 innings. A lot of twists and turns in that one. Hastings had a 1-0 lead after 4. Pitchers seeming to be dominant, but Nebraska got 2 runs in the 5th, 2 runs in the 6th that looked really bleak until the Sodbusters scored 3 in the bottom of the 7th. Had a great chance to win it there. Bases loaded, 1 out, pop-up. And then they had first and second, nobody out in a tie game in the bottom of the 8th. And could not score, and then they would see the Prospects get 3 in the 9th. They managed to get 1 back, but 8-6 final. First man up there here in this inning is Elliot Peterson for the Nebraska Prospects. They come in with a record of 5 wins and 8 losses. The Hastings Sodbusters are 13-8, and losers of 3 in a row after they had that 6-game win streak. Jude Sundquist brings the pitch home, and that swung on and missed quickly. 2 strikes on Peterson, who went 0 for 3 with a run batted in the first game, but that doesn't tell the story. He was the catcher that made the amazing play right next to the screen with the bases loaded 1-out situation. And then the next inning, he did a pick play to pick off the lead runner at second base when the Sodbusters had that first and second no-out situation. So 2 huge defensive plays during the course of that contest that helped the Prospects get the win for the first time this year against Hastings. Hastings had swept the Prospects 7-3 and 3-2 back on June 1st and 2nd. It's a late night of baseball doubleheader. We're past 10 o'clock here on YouTube, but excited to be bringing you this College Summer League as the pitch is fouled away. It's still 1 ball and 2 strikes on Elliot Peterson, first man batting here in the 3rd inning of this scheduled 7-inning contest. Sodbusters going with their black jerseys today. They have now fallen below 500 wearing the blacks. I love these because they have the nice big yellow numbers and are very easy to read for this old man. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sundquist brings it home and inside nearly hit him. 2-2 is the count on Elliot Peterson. DHing in this game, not behind the plate. Corey Kozad, who was the DH last game, he is working the catcher spot for this Nebraska Prospect squad. 2-2, nobody out. Already an elevated pitch count for Jude Sundquist, trying to keep those pitches to a minimum. This one drilled to the left center field gap. That is trouble. Is anybody going to get there? Diving attempt made. No. And Peterson around first, headed to second. Ryan Jarvis tried to lay out, could not get it done. And it's a leadoff double for Elliot Peterson and the Nebraska Prospects here in inning number 3. So Sundquist put one in the zone, and this was taken out to the left center field gap. 2-0 the score And Corey Kozad will try to bring him home. Kozad 1 for 4 in the first game with a run scored. Starting catcher here in game number 2. Kozad had 4 at-bats during the first couple of games against Hastings. 0 for 4 on the year against the Hastings Soundbusters. The Nebraska Prospects were dynamite a year ago. I mean, they dripping with 90-mile-an-hour plus throwers. They had a really solid lineup, and they went 25-9 against competition. Really, the Sodbusters, the team they had last year, for them to go 4-5 against Nebraska was an amazing accomplishment, but they ended up having good success down the stretch against this Nebraska Prospects team and salvaged a pretty good season series after the Prospects really blew them out of the water a couple of times early in the year. Jude Sundquist brings home the 1-0 pitch, and that's a beauty right over the center of the plate on a curveball. 1-1 on Corey Kozad. 1 on, nobody out. Prospects looking to extend a 2-0 lead and looking for a doubleheader sweep. Same two teams will play tomorrow night for the Hastings area. 6:35 the start time. And then Hastings will begin a week away from home. Okay, no off days. Going to go to Fremont for 3. As the 1-1 pitch is not coming. Sundquist a little bluff back to second. It'll be at Fremont Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then they'll finally get a couple of days off. And you would think they will at least get one day just totally away. Just guessing Joel Skipper will say, don't think about baseball for 24 hours. Then we'll come back the next day. And then they'll go to Pierre to play Oahe on the 29th and 30th before finally coming back home on the 1st of July to face the Plainsmen. Plainsmen, by the way, lost their game to Spearfish today, 5-1. They just began competition, this travel team, now 0-4 for the summer. The Bison are going to be opening their season in July, and they'll play about 17 or 18 games or so. 2-1 the count now. Pitch taken high, 3-1. So Sundquist in danger of giving up another free pass. He's walked 2, he's hit 1. In the entire first game, 9 innings, Sodbuster pitchers combined to walk just 2. That was what made it thoroughly frustrating. Sodbusters strand 15 in the first game. Nebraska stranded only 4. All kinds of chances for the Hastings Sodbusters to score more runs, and they lose an 8-6 contest. 3-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Sundquist blew it by him with the fastball there. It was South Dakota State Day, and I was kind of excited. I told the wife, I thought, get the South Dakota State guys on the mound. Got a chance to win a couple here, and Jack Kruger certainly didn't disappoint. He had a solid first game, but ended up getting a no decision in that first contest. And Sundquist, who picked up a win last week in a doubleheader, on the mound here today, but he's down 2-0 and a runner in scoring position with nobody out in the third. He's trying to handle this prospect lineup. 3-2, the count on Corey Kozad. Hastings at 13-8, the Prospects 5-8. Nebraska playing its first game in 8 days. 3-2 pitch. Misses for ball 4. So first and second, nobody out. And Ashton Graff Rowe will come to the plate. Center fielder is struck out looking his first time up. Sundquist struck out 3 of the first 4 guys he faced. He has 4 strikeouts overall, but has now given up 3 walks to go along with a hit batsman. So Jude trying to find the control. He's a hard thrower, but sometimes it's hard to get it over the plate. Takes something off of this one and finds the outside corner for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike on Ashton Graff Rowe. Guy who got a chance to play in the Junior College World Series with the Crowder College Rough Riders. He's from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. What's he doing on the Nebraska Prospects? Hey, you get a little. He's got a friend who played for the Prospects last year, so getting a chance to play some summer ball here. 2-0 is the score. The Hastings Sodbusters trail it, and the Nebraska Prospects looking for more. But Crowder College teammate Easton Swafford from B Branch, Arkansas, played on the Prospects a year ago. and brought this young man with him, basically. Here's the delivery. Pitch taken outside. Yeah, it's the Nebraska prospects, sort of. We noticed last year had several guys from Arkansas on the team, but mostly from the Omaha metro area. They have the youth prospects where you get guys from all over the state, get together for travel ball in the summer, play some high-level competition, and now they've just kind of calculated and translated that into a college summer team. This is the third year, and playing as a road-only team in this Independence League to allow other teams to get home contests. Pitch swung on and missed. It's worked out really well. Like I say, Sodbuster's been pretty competitive with them. 2 years ago, they went 4-2 against the Prospects. Last year, 4-5, and when it really felt like the Prospects had the dudes and really outmanned Nebraska, outmanned Hastings on a lot of days, Sodbusters nearly able to play 500 with that team last season. 2-1 the count. And the pitch. Little line drive. Vega's got it. He dishes to Printer, and it's a line out. Step on the bag, double play to really hurt the threat here for the Nebraska Prospects. How about a little defense there? Maybe that gets this crowd and this Sodbuster team engaged in this one.
I'm going to say that's exactly what the Sodbusters needed, is something to cheer about, and not your traditional ground ball double play, but a line out double play and double the runner off. That's pretty cool.
Yep, we'll take that. Trent Berry will come to the plate now. He scored a run last inning as he is at the plate for the Nebraska Prospects, who lead it 2-0 with 2 outs and just 1 on now. Berry behind the fastball there. No balls in the strike. Trent Berry plunked, and I don't know if plunked doesn't do it justice when Jude Sundquist, throwing over 90 miles an hour, drilled his last time up, but was able to come around and score. Takes the pitch for ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Trent Berry probably going to get some heat from Braden Cork there, a college roommate at Northeast Community College. Braden suffered the loss in the first game today. He's been outstanding as a closer and had a couple of things just go against him, and they ended up tagging him for 3 runs. Pitch taken for ball inside. Sato does not throw down. Really good jump there, and Corey Kozad has himself a stolen base. Talk about this free-running squad. They do like to get after it on the bases. Now, Kozad hasn't been one of those guys this year, but he picks up a stolen base. A guy that has been the man for them is not even on the team tonight. Blake Stenger, 16 for 17 in stolen bases. So he has half of their stolen bases for the year for the Nebraska Prospects. So one of their big spark plugs not even on the roster today. 3-1 the count now on Trent Berry. 2 outs, 1 on. Nebraska trying to get on the board after they were the victim of a 4-6 double play. Pitch swung on and missed, 3-2. Sundquist continues to see that pitch count elevate. 65 pitches, and we're not through the top half of the third inning. So going to be a bullpen game before it's all said and done, and there's a left-hander working behind Jude Sundquist. Sodbusters already using Braden Cork today and back-to-back days, so he's not going to be a candidate to pitch. We knew we'd see him sometime this weekend, and we see him back-to-back games last night and today. You're hoping to use Cork in a save situation or in a chance to win it, but didn't work out either of those 2 times as the walk issued to Berry. So that's the second walk of the inning, and now the 4th walk of the game for Sundquist. Still not out of trouble here with A.J. Lucas coming to the plate for the Nebraska Prospects. Walked and scored his last time up, and he's hit by a pitch. Second hit batsman, 4 walks, so 6 free passes. And the pitch count is up near 70, and I thought we were going to see a visit. Instead, it's just James Velasquez, all NAIA guy and first-team GPAC performer, the Hastings College guy coming out to deliver baseballs. And now here comes Joel Skipper to have a talk with Jude Sundquist.
Yeah, definitely time to go out and calm down your reliever. Sometimes it's not on for you as a starter, but really just for a team that's been laboring all week, it almost just looks like the Sodbusters are just running out of gas as a team. I mean, playing every day since Monday is super tough. Usually you only see teams play this much in the major leagues. Obviously college, they get plenty of days off in between. But with this summer, it's just how it goes. You're going to have a lot of games and a lot of time to get a lot of experience. The going can get tough, but just there needs to be something to spark this Sodbuster team to get them back in the games. It almost looks like they're a little bit dozy at the wheel right now.
And you're hoping that last game doesn't influence this game. But right now, Sodbuster's trying to keep it a game. It's 2-0, bases loaded, and if the prospects can come through here, they take a nice working lead with Jackson Trout coming to the plate and watching strike one go by. No balls and a strike on Jackson Trout. Still a chance to survive this with no damage done, even though the pitch count is really getting up there for Sundquist. Sundquist has thrown 34 pitches this inning alone. Has not given up a run yet. 0-1 delivery. Off speed, strike two. 2 strikes the count on Jackson Trout, who drove in a run with an RBI ground out his last time up. He's a UNO guy. Had a bunch of Mavericks on the team last summer. And you mentioned it, Wayne State was big on this Nebraska prospect squad, which won 25 out of their 34 games. Pitch high, and it hit the bat. A huge break, a foul ball off the bat of Jackson Trout. That baby was going to bounce all around, and the backstop 1 run would have scored for sure. And the Sodbuster fans can breathe a little sigh of relief there, and second chance for Sundquist.
Oh, man. It's a Little League right there. Say it's coming behind you, get the bat down.
Yep.
Didn't happen there. It's happens every once in a while, and just unfortunate it happened to Trout there.
The Little Leaguers don't throw it 92 miles an hour, though. It's tough to get the bat down when that baby's coming at you. You're just helping to get your head out of the way.
Touche.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And the Sodbusters, after all of that, no damage done. Wow. The leadoff double, 2 walks and a hit batsman, and when all is said and done, no runs, 1 hit, 3 men left. We head to the bottom half of inning number 3. It's still 2-0 Prospects. This is Sodbuster Baseball. Sodbuster Baseball is sponsored by Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. It's one of the many ways Jerry and Greg Spady, along with their families and employees, have proudly embraced a passion for giving back to the community. The folks at Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC realize the importance of enriching and improving the lives of their neighbors. They've accomplished this through philanthropy and active personal involvement. Featuring the top new and used inventory in the region and a certified service department, Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC, 2750 Osborne Drive East in Hastings, or at spady.com. Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner. At the bottom half of inning number 3, how about some offense? How about we see some balls put in play, and let's get going in baseball. We've got Hiltbrand, Delgado, and back to the top of the order for Vega, and the Sodbusters have come out and really struggled against Pickens. Leadoff walk to Vega, strikeout, 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 then ground out, strikeout, strikeout. That's 5 Ks, 1 ball put in play, as we've seen 7 men come to the plate for the Hastings Sodbusters, trying to catch up with Cameron Pickens, who has been dynamite the first couple of innings in this one. 7-inning contest. You got to get that offense going early. Otherwise, it can be a hole that you just can't climb out of. And Hastings probably fortunate to still be down just 2-0 as big threat avoided in the top half of this third. And Cameron Pickens, a Concordia University guy out of Millard North, is off to a really good start for this Nebraska Prospects team, and we'll see what Kyle Hiltbrand can get done. Hiltbrand 1 for 3 in the first game today with run batted in, just joining this team recently. And he's a California guy, so that's a great thing. I mean, if you're going to play these games and it's, 10-19 here, they're just enjoying their evening in California, only 8-19 on the coast. So this would be the ESPN West Coast special here of Independence League Baseball.
Late night baseball after dark.
You bet. Pitch swung on and missed for Kyle Hiltbrand. Hiltbrand, a solid summer a year ago for Hastings, 284 in 27 games played. joined the transfer portal after his season and still weighing his options. He had talked about maybe making his decision this week. We've not heard any updates at this point from Kyle Hiltbrandt on his official college plans for the fall. 2-0 delivery on Kyle, takes it for a ball in the dirt. 3-0 now on Hiltbrandt, trying to get a base runner aboard and see what they can get going against Cameron Pickens. Sodbusters looking for a doubleheader split today as the two teams will play another game tomorrow before the Sodbusters go to Fremont for 3. Fremont gets the weekend off, so it's going to be a weary Sodbuster team anyway. And then Fremont will have the advantage of taking a couple of days away. High chopper, it's off the glove of the shortstop and into short center field. Don't know if it was going to be play anyway. It'll be interesting to see how they score that. That high hopper off the bat of Kyle, who can really run. And he's aboard now for the Hastings Sodbusters.
I'd say give him a hit. He probably had that beat out. Looks like that's what they are going to rule. That's on Game Changer app. And Kyle Hiltbrandt getting in on the hit there to break up the streak of 6 straight retired.
And Hiltbrandt has his second hit of the day. He had a hit in the first game of the doubleheader. That disappointing 8-6 setback for the Sodbusters. Alexio Delgado at the plate. Came in as a pinch runner in the first game. Wants to bunt here and goes foul. No balls and a strike. Yeah, the wheels were turning late there. They tried to get Delgado in to get his speed. Then he was taken out of the game, so didn't have any official at-bats. Hastings all kinds of opportunities to win that thing late after you felt just good to tie it in the 7th inning with 3 runs, but they had the bases loaded and only 1 out. Couldn't score the winning run there. Had first and second after tying it in the 8th inning and nobody out, and couldn't get the winning run across there either. Here is Delgado. Good bunt up the first base side. Tough play, but well played there as Pickens able to field his position and dish it to A.J. Lucas. Sacrifice completed. Delgado thinking about an infield single there. He'll settle for the 1-3 sacrifice, and Hiltbrandt in scoring position at second base with the hot Drew Vega coming to the plate.
And good play by Pickens there. Almost looked like it was one of those where the ball was going to get glued into his glove, but able to make the transfer just in time while running full speed to first base, too. Not an easy play.
Drew Vega walking a stolen base his first time up after a 2-hit game in the first game with 2 runs scored. Sodbusters lost that one 8-6. Pitch way outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Drew Vegas. Just been tearing it up at the plate. He's enjoying playing here at home. Coming into today, 385, and now with 2 more hits, the average goes up at Duncan Field. Didn't play in the spring for Arkansas Tech, but this kind of summer could translate to good fall ball and maybe more opportunities for the Wonder Boys when next spring comes around. That's what all of these guys are hoping for. Find the things you need to improve on, attract the attention of coaches who may be watching in some cases when you've got guys who are in the transfer portal. And if your coaches are watching at the college you're at, hey, I didn't know this guy could do this. Bouncing ball left side, could be a tough play. Shortstop knocks it down, but this will be another infield single. Good job for Beast just to knock it down to the turf, and a good base running there for Hiltbrandt as he advances from second to third. And the Sodbusters have something going here with the bases loaded and only 1 man out, and Josh Printer coming to the plate.
Couple of infield singles, and you feel for Luke Bees over there. Just 2 tremendously tough plays. Not going to make a lot of those plays, and let's give the Sodbusters something to spark. I mean, that line drive double play last inning, couple of hits this inning. The machine is getting heated up, hopefully.
Josh Printer, who struck out one of the first 3 in a row to be struck out by Pickens in that first. The Sodbusters felt pretty good. Walk, stolen base, but then Printer, Jarvis, and Jensen, all victims of strikeouts from Cameron Pickens, who's in his worst situation of the day here with first and third and only 1 man out. Pitch taken low for a ball. Be interesting to see. The Sodbusters have been fairly aggressive on the bases during the course of this year. Do you turn Drew Vega loose to try to steal second to avoid any kind of chance at a double play?
Put my vote tally for the yes column. I'd be a fan of that.
2-0 the count. Pickens checks the runners at the corners. Great speed on the bases for this Hastings Sodbuster squad. Vega does not go, and the pitch across for a strike. 2-1 the count on Josh Printer. Printer, a couple of hits in the first game today, maybe getting back into the swing of things. He had a run scored. Sodbusters come up short despite out-hitting the Prospects 9-7. They lose it 8-6 in 9 innings. Scheduled 7-inning game. 2-1 delivery, and this one's lined. Fair ball. 1 run will score. Oh, no, they've called it a foul ball. Oh, man, and if the reaction from the runner at third base, Kyle Hiltbrand, is any indication, I think it was a fair ball.
And Jill Skipper as well. They've got a decent view of it, but then the home plate umpire's got to look right out there. My naked eye, I thought it was foul. I was holding my arm up trying to influence it fair, but from my angle, it looked like it was just foul. Maybe they were trying to argue it hit that very, very, very last piece of white grass out there, but doesn't get any closer than that.
It's a large call going against the Sodbusters because now it's 2-2 and a good strikeout pitcher. A chance for Pickens to maybe come back, get it out here. Printer to concentrate, and he pops it in the air right side. That's you're disappointed as a hitter too, but you have to put that behind you and face the next pitch. And a good job there for Josh to spoil that good offering from Pickens. And can he find a way to overcome adversity here and do it again? That would have scored 1, maybe 2, because Vega can fly at first base. As it stands, 2 balls, 2 strikes with just 1 out. And the pitch. This one popped up, foul territory. They'll give it a look over on the first base side, and they make the play. Here comes a runner home to score. The catcher had come up. The pitcher did not cover. Heads up base running there for Kyle Hiltbrand. It'll be a sacrifice fly from Josh Printer. You don't often get a sac fly to the first baseman, but that is going to be the situation. Hiltbrand scores, so Hastings does get a run out of it. 2 outs, and Drew Vega stayed at first base.
Unbelievable base running by Kyle Hiltbrand. Never hesitated. Once he saw the catcher go over to make the play, and the pitcher not covering, no hesitation, got in there. Don't see that every day. Wow.
So 2-1. Sodbusters steal a run here, and now a little shot to the left center field gap, but that is going to be playable and caught off the bat of Ryan Jarvis. Jarvis hit it pretty well, but Jacob Perrin over to make the catch, and the Sodbusters will settle for a run. 1 run on a couple of infield singles and an unusual sac fly to the first baseman. We head to inning number 4. It's 2-1 Prospects. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Dog Roll Patrol provides reliable and professional pet waste management services in the Hastings area. Hire Dog Roll Patrol today and spend more time enjoying your furry friends and less time cleaning up after them. Depending on your location and number of pets, Dog Roll Patrol will work with you to come up with a schedule that best fits your situation. Dog Roll Patrol takes great pride in their work. Family owned and operated out of Hastings. Get a free quote and details on the services at dogrollpatrol.com.
We head to the 4th inning. The Hastings Sodbusters cut the lead in half. They're down 2-1. 2 runs on 2 hits for Nebraska. 1 run, 2 hits for the Hastings Sodbusters. Both of those infield singles, and the Sodbusters turn it into offense on an RBI sac fly to the first baseman off the bat of Josh Printer. As he popped it up, foul territory. The catcher went over to help out. The pitcher didn't cover home plate, and Kyle Hiltbrand alertly took home after that pop-up in foul territory on the right side. It'll be 8-9-1 coming up for the Nebraska Prospects, looking to go to 6-8 with the doubleheader sweep of Hastings as we are in the middle inning of this 7-inning affair. Big swing, no contact. No balls and a strike on Jacob Perrin, who's 1 for 3 and scored twice in the first game of the day for the Nebraska Prospects. Perrin had gone 1 for 4 in 2 previous outings against Hastings. Takes this pitch inside, and it hit him. Ah, boy. There is another hit batsman to go along with 4 walks for Jude Sundquist, who's just been in trouble seemingly since this day began. Paul Schuyler will come to the plate. And pitch count continues to fly for Sundquist, up to 75 now in the ball game. There was left-handed action earlier, and it looks like a lefty is throwing again for this Hastings Sodbuster team. As Sundquist not going to get through 7 here today, it doesn't appear. Just the number of pitches he's gone, lest he can start getting some first pitch contact as the pitch misses outside for a ball. Paul Schuyler didn't play in the first game, struck out his first time up against Jude. South Dakota State starting day for this Sodbuster team, just like they did last Saturday, the doubleheader, going with Kruger and Sundquist. A little different results last week. The Sodbusters taking a pair from Fremont, 3-1 and 5-1. Today, Jack Kruger did not figure in the decision in the first game. Sodbusters losing that one 8-6 in 9 innings, and Sundquist on the short end, 2-1. Still a chance to come back and put a 0 on the board here, though, as he's fallen behind 2-0 to Paul Schuyler. Pitch swung on and missed. Schuyler trying to check his swing, did not get it done. Schuyler played in the first game of the 2-game series earlier this year, went 0 for 3 against Hastings. He'd been off to a good start, 5 for 14 in limited playing time. At a Bellevue East High School, his next college stop, UNO. Pitch down low, runner goes, throw to second, out! Nice job for Vega to grab the throw from Sato and make the tag, and Jacob Perrin is a dead duck at second base, caught stealing by Yamato Sato.
From his knees, too. Sato didn't even get a chance to extend his motion. Had to throw off of one knee, and somehow perfect one-hop throw and an even better tag by Drew Vega.
So the Sodbusters eliminate a base runner for the second straight inning. At last frame, had the line-out, throw-out double play, and then the prospects loaded the bases but did not score. And this pitch low, so that caught stealing looming larger now after the one-out walk. So the first 2 have reached, but only 1 on. As another free pass issued by Sundquist, battling his way through control issues here in this matchup with the Nebraska Prospects as we hit 10:30 at night. These young dudes are probably used to this. You get to be my age, man. It's we're 2 hours past Matlock, Ryan. I gotta get to sleep. We're getting a chance to call baseball. That's the that's the fun thing.
We signed up for this.
That's right. Delivery taken a little bit high to the leadoff man, Luke Beese. And like I say, you missed last Saturday's doubleheader, and it couldn't have gone much better. I think we were out of here by 10:30. 2 7-inning games, great pitching, good defense. That was Saturday night baseball if you're going to play a doubleheader.
So what you're saying is no more doubleheaders for me. I'm a bad influence on the teams. Heard that.
Unless there's weather, pop up right side. Should be the final doubleheader of the year for the Hastings Sodbusters, as they have the back-to-back Saturday doubleheaders. Are going to be a few games in Grand Island a little later on this year. As a town just up the road to the north, going to get a chance to host a couple of games. The Bison will be playing in Grand Island on July 20th and 21st at Ryder Park. Totally different than Duncan Field. Small park sets so the wind's blowing out a lot from the south in the summertime, and the balls could be flying. Pop up, fouled out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Luke Beese, who didn't play in the first game today for this Nebraska prospect squad. Went to McCook Community College, still deciding on his next plans after playing high school ball at Omaha Gross. 286 on the year with 4 runs batted in. Did have a hit and 2 RBI in the first matchup between these two teams, won by the Sodbusters 7-3. Runner at first, 1 out. Sundquist brings home the pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to second base. Not going to be in time. And a stolen base as this prospects team continues to test the arm of Sato. And don't feel bad for Yamato. They've done it to everybody they've played. 30-plus stolen bases, and it's just their 14th game. So they do get after it. And a new hitter coming on here. Try to catch a number on this young man. Got the red numbers on the blue jerseys, and as we've hit nightfall, they become a little bit harder to read for these old guys. And that is number 23. That would be J.D. DePrima, a Northwestern State Demon, former Northeast Community College guy, and Des Moines Area Community College. He went to Omaha West Side as he stands in the box. 2 outs after the strikeout of B, so they got the strikeout, trying for the strikeout, throw out double play. And the pitch is on the outside corner for a strike to the new batter in there, J.D. DePrima. J.D. DePrima in the left-handed box against Jude Sundquist, the right-hander. Sodbusters trying to get out of this with no damage done. Pitch lined foul down the left field line. And a 2-strike count on J.D. DePrima, batting for Elliot Peterson, who doubled his last time up, but then was picked off on a double play out at second. I'm not sure if he got dinged on that, but kind of interesting to take out that guy in this particular situation after he doubled his last time up. But wondered if he got hung up there with Printer as he dove back in at second base, because he's not in the lineup the next time through. Instead, J.D. DePrima getting his opportunity. 0 for 7 on the year with a couple of runs batted in. 2 runs scored, just his 4th game of the year. Great stop for Yamato Sato. That pitch was behind DePrima. Short hop in the turf and a diving stop made by Sato to keep the runner at second base. Tremendous athleticism for Yamato Sato, who made 2 really good plays playing first base yesterday out in foul territory, having to run downhill. They have the artificial turf on the infield, and it kind of slopes away. So if you're not used to that, it's wicked to try to run away from home plate. And he caught one going down the hill, running full away from home plate. It's one of the foul outs as a first baseman yesterday. 2-2 with 2 outs. Pitch from Sundquist, outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Courageous effort for Sundquist. Doesn't have his A controlled today, but he's keeping the Sodbusters in it and trying to get his way through this 4th inning with no damage done.
Gotta wonder how much he has left into the tank. Already passed his season high in pitches of 72. He's at 87 now.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A good job for Sundquist, and if that's his last at bat, he at least did what he could to try to keep his team in it. Pitched 5 innings and those 70-some pitches a week ago. He can only manage 4 with almost 90 pitches today. 2-1 Prospects as we head to the bottom of the 4th. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
To the bottom half of inning number 4, Sodbusters very much a part of this game. 2-1. Sundquist battling his way through 4 innings to keep the Prospects pretty much at bay. Hastings had some good defensive plays to also get out of big jams. A caught stealing, a line out, throw out double play. Now can they find the offense, able to get on the board with a pair of infield singles and a sac fly to the first baseman an inning ago to hold back to within 1. It is 2-1 as we see the Prospects go back out with Cameron Pickens. College World Series, it was Texas A&M over Tennessee 9-5. First game of that series. They'll play tomorrow, if necessary Monday in Omaha. Hastings Sodbusters see what they can get done as they will bringing their 4, 5, and 6 hitters up there. Cale Jensen struck out his first time up. He had a big at bat in the first game today, though, battling for a rare RBI hit by pitch that tied the game in the bottom of the 7th. Sodbusters couldn't win it, though, and the Prospects end up winning in 9 by a score of 8-6. It's called strike one against Cale Jensen, who is battling it early in this summer season, trying to find his mojo. 3 for 22 coming into today. 0-1 pitch is missing. He was outstanding for Northeast Community College in the spring, and great to have him back for his second season as a Hastings Sodbuster. He was a .270 hitter and did a lot of things well for Hastings in the last summer season. 1-1 delivery. Jensen, did he check his swing? He did not. Down to the count 1-2 at one that reached the turf. Cameron Pickens continues to be very elusive with his pitches. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk today. Just the 2 infield singles, the only safeties he's allowed against this Hastings Sodbuster team. 1-2 pitch on the way. Nearly hit him. Jensen spins out of the way, and it's 2-2 on the Hastings DH. Borgman and Welsh also scheduled to bat here in inning number 4. It's getting late. Midway through this one, 7-inning contest, and a swing and a miss. Jensen that struck out for the second time against Pickens, who's been really good for this Prospects team today. Millard North Mustang, and he has done a nice job playing his college ball at Concordia. Here comes Jack Borgman, grounded out at the shortstop. His first time up today, went 1 for 3 and knocked in a run with an infield single in game number 1. That a part of that 3-run 7th inning that got it to extras. And now Borgman loses his bat, and that is clear up into the stands. Oh, my goodness. Thankfully, it did not catch a young man or young woman, and it hit open spots in the stands. You've got the protective screen, and that just did clear the screen and landed about the second row from the top. Oh, my goodness. Just thankfully there wasn't a child in that area of the grandstands, or an adult for that matter, because that was flying. And Jack's putting a little bit of stick 'em on the handle right there.
Yeah, it's the second time we've seen that happen this season, and it's a danger of not wearing batting gloves. You say that it feels a better.
He's got gloves on.
Oh, he's got gloves on now.
Take the gloves off. Doesn't feel like he's got a good feel for it, and wow, that was nuts.
Well, when you're trying to break out of a slump, you'll try anything, and this is the latest endeavor here.
As the 0-1 delivery swings and misses here, it's 0-2 on Jack Borgman, and you got to be a little tentative after that, and it didn't look like he took a full swing that time.
I would be too.
Yeah, that was scary. And if I'm sitting in the stands, that's coming my way. I'm not trying to catch that one. And 3-pitch strikeout, you could almost just feel that coming. And 2 straight strikeouts to open this 4th inning. That'll bring to the plate Tyler Welch, who struck out his first time up against Cameron Pickens. Just not putting a lot of balls in play against Pickens, who has been outstanding. A guy with a 10.5 ERA in 3 appearances this year. So you figure, let's take our chances against this guy. And he has just been mowing him down for the most part in this one. Here's the pitch. Pitch swung on and foul tip. No balls and a strike on Tyler Welch, who had a very productive first game. 1 for 2, a run batted in, 3 walks for Tyler Welch. That's one of the reasons he's continuing to earn playing time. The fact that he finds a way to get on base, well over 500 for an on-base percentage coming into today, and that'll only go up. Bouncing ball foul, 2 strikes on Welch. Hastings College guy from Tucson's Sabino High School. Wants to coach baseball eventually, an exercise science major. One of the returnees from last year's Sodbuster team. Hastings trying to make big improvements after last year's 17-35 season. Already 13 wins, and we've not reached the end of the first half of the schedule. That will happen tomorrow. 0-2 pitch is outside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tyler Welch. Casper's already clinched the first half title. Casper had an 8-2 lead at last report against Milwaukee. Spearfish had already beaten the Plainsmen in the other games today. Tomorrow, same matchups, with Fremont getting the weekend off and called strike 3. Welch didn't think so, but he'll head to the dugout. And for the second time in this game, Cameron Pickens strikes out the side. We head to the 5th inning, and it's Nebraska 2, Hastings 1. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Head to the 5th inning. Jude Sundquist back out there. He's keeping his team in the game, and we'll see if he can put another 0 on the board and keep it at 2-1. Other action in the Independence League. Casper is just about to wrap up the victory, and it may have just come to a close. Now it says delayed mid-ninth, 10-3, but if it's the mid-ninth, that actually should be game over. Casper, I believe, has just defeated Oahe 10-3. We're going to go with that until we hear something different. So they go to 18-4 on the year. Oahe falls to 5-21. 2-1 right here, as the Hastings Sodbusters very much a part of it. But the prospects looking to add more. They've had much more of the offensive opportunities, but just 2 runs against Sundquist, who's been in and out of the zone today. Throws a first pitch strike to Corey Kozad. No balls and a strike on Kozad, who's walked twice and stole a base for the prospects. They've had all kinds of opportunities to kind of put a stranglehold on this game, but just 2 hits against Sundquist. That's one reason he's still going out there, despite the fact that he has walked 5 and hit 3. Still working his way really hard and keeping his team in it with big pitches, and then they've gotten some nice performances with defense behind him. So we've not seen an error on either side in this game after the 2 teams combined for 5 errors in the first game today. That won by the Prospects by a score of 8-6. Offense coming late after it was a 1-0 game after 4 with Hastings on top. Pitch over for a strike. 1-2 now on Corey Kozad. Kozad 1 for 4 with a run scored in the first game today, as he was DHing in that first contest. A combined 4 hits in this contest, 2 on either side. Sodbusters getting both of theirs in their 1-run inning, both of them infield singles. Kozad lines this one foul on the right side. Hastings defensively, a little bit different lineup as they have Jack Borgman at first, Drew Vega at second, Josh Prenner at short, Tyler Welch getting a start at third base in this game. The outfield alignment of Ryan Jarvis in left, Alexiel Delgado in center, and Kyle Hiltbrandt in right, with Yamato Sato getting a start behind the plate for Hastings in this nightcap of the 7-inning doubleheader against the Nebraska Prospects. 1-2 pitch coming from Sundquist. Foul back. Good swing there for Corey Kozad to stay alive for the Nebraska Prospects. Kozad just under 300 coming into today. Got his first hit against the Hastings Sodbusters. He was 0 for 4 in an earlier meeting. 1 for 4 in the first game today with one of the 8 prospect runs. Swing and a miss at 1 in the dirt. Sato sees it get by him, and this is going to be a reach stealing right here. Sato made it closer than I thought he would. So strikeout wild pitch, and base runners continue to come against Jude Sundquist, even on strike 3. Tough break. So Sundquist, who's had to pitch out of the stretch pretty much all game, it seemed like there's been runners behind him, will have to have some more pressure-packed pitches here in this 5th inning. Trying to work his way through the 5th of a 7-inning contest. He worked 5 last week and picked up a victory. Pitch taken way upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes on Ashton Graff Rowe, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop-up.
Maybe it's the full moon out there. It's staring at us right above center field, and something, the moon is up. Yeah, that little dot just above the pine tree in between the 2 lights on your screen. The full moon. Maybe a hex of some sort on the Sodbusters.
James Velasquez does it all. You talked about he was juggling earlier. He's a pitcher for Hastings College, and this Hastings Sodbuster team just helped out Yamato Sato fix his gear. Catching gear had come loose. Velasquez all over it. Want to know the counts on Ashton Graff Rowe. Batting cleanup after he led off the first game. It takes the pitch high for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Rowe. And good versatility for him, too. Starting shortstop in the first game, center field here in game 2. Runner at first, nobody out. Prospects looking for a big insurance run in the 5th. Scheduled 7-inning game. It's already getting late. More ways than one. Approaching 11 o'clock Central Time. The day began at 6. 2 teams will play a 6:35 single 9-inning game tomorrow. Swing and a miss. Sundquist coming back to get strike 2. We'll see if he can finish the deal against Ashton Graff Rowe. Coming off that Junior College World Series performance, they did go 0-2 with a pair of 7-6 losses, but 49 wins for Crowder College, Missouri at the JUCO World Series. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good job for Jude to come back and get a K. He's had his share of strikeouts to go along with the walks and hit batsmen, so an up-and-down day. 8 strikeouts, 5 walks, 3 hit batsmen. There just haven't been many balls put in play.
Make that 4 strikeouts in a row now, if you include the wild pitch strikeout just a moment ago. But that's just the 100th pitch now for Jude Sundquist, and want to get him through 5 here and maybe just have one more reliever to get you the last 6 outs.
Unfortunately, I think 110 is your limit. You can begin a batter at 110 and finish him, so it's really going to be critical to him to try to get Barry in a hurry, so he'll have a chance at A.J. Lucas, strike 1. And after you pitch over 90 pitches, you're required 4 days rest. Strike 2. Coach Joel Skipper likes to give him even more. Sundquist hasn't pitched in a week, just like we saw Jack Kruger earlier. They're frontline guys. They try to give him the full 7 days if possible. You know, they're borrowing these guys from college programs and want to take good care of them. Pitch just misses for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Trent Berry. Get a good reputation around, and those colleges will send you more players. If you're well taken care of and trying to improve the skills here. Summer ball and South Dakota State been a big part of this Sodbuster program this summer. 1-2 pitch on the way. Misses for ball 2. 2-2. Need to get this out here against Barry, then you'll have a chance at Lucas to have an opportunity to finish the 5th. Otherwise, Hastings will be forced to go to the bullpen. 2-2 pitch. Outside for ball 3, and Sundquist mutters something to himself that we probably can't say even on the internet. Shucks, I believe. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2-1. Prospects lead the Hastings Sodbusters here at Duncan Field. Runner goes. Pitch taken for strike 3. It's 2 outs, so it's a stolen base. Skozad took off, gets his second stolen base of the game, but Barry watches it go by for strike 3. And an opportunity at A.J. Lucas to perhaps get out of this with no damage done.
How often do you say the catcher steals the second base of the game?
They run from top to bottom, this Nebraska Prospects team. little delayed steal there. Sundquist didn't pay a whole lot of attention, and he blows it by Lucas here. Went in one after the zone. Reached space twice, walked and hit by a pitch. If Sundquist does complete 5, it's really an amazing job for the kind of struggles he had with his control and command, but he's allowed only 2 hits, and he struck out plenty, and he's now 1 strike away as he puts one in the zone against Lucas. 108 pitches thrown now for Jude Sundquist, and giving his team an opportunity, much like Jack Kruger in the first game, although Jack was much more in command throughout the course of the contest. Runner goes from second to third, and the pitch is hit high in the air to right field. Going back, Hiltbrandt makes the grab, and no damage done. So, no runs, no hits, 1 man left, and we're to the bottom half of inning number 5. It's still 2-1 Prospects. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris, plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
Hastings Sodbusters, a chance here in the final couple innings to come back and win it. They trail it just 2-1. Really courageous performance for Jude Sundquist, who probably didn't have his A controlled today, but he was only touched up for 2 runs. Hit a man, walked a man in the second. Both of those guys would come around to score, one on an RBI ground out, one on an RBI single. Other than that, battled with base runners behind him all night long, but didn't allow anything else, and allowed only 2 hits while striking out 10, walking 5, and hitting 3. Reaches his 109 pitch count and likely will not come out for the 6th. Meanwhile, it's Cameron Pickens who has held the Sodbusters to just 1 run on 2 hits through 4. He's out there trying to put another 0 on the board for this Prospects team. Hastings will have the bottom of the order coming up. Sato, Hiltbrand, and Delgado to try to find the measure of this guy. Had a lefty up a couple of different times for Hastings, and we'll expect to see one of those guys. I don't know if it would be Creighton Jacobitz again or a guy like Brendan Wabick. Jacobitz, I would think not probably ready to go yet after he had that 5-inning relief appearance, so I would guess that was Wabick warming up. This is going to be Yamato Sato, struck out looking his first time up, one of the 8 strikeout victims of Cameron Pickens in just 4 innings of work. Didn't really see this coming if you looked at the numbers for him for the year, but he has been pretty dominant, and Sodbusters can't catch up with the fastball as Sato swings late for strike 1. Pickens trying to roll through this 5th inning here. He's in great shape pitch count-wise, just 63 pitches thrown. And the first 2 have gotten by Sato. This one looking. No balls and 2 strikes on Yamato Sato for the Hastings Sodbusters. Represented by Japan, the Netherlands, Panama, Canada. It's been a fun international melting pot for this Sodbuster team. Even though Scott Galusha said really didn't plan it that way. That's just the kind of way it worked. 1-2 the count.
You got to know people to get people from other countries, especially with Sato's connection. I mean, personally, don't know anybody in Tokyo, Japan, but obviously Scott Galusha did.
1-2 pitch, and this one right across for strike 3. He goes down looking. That'll bring Kyle Hiltbrand to the plate. Actually, there's a scouting service in Japan which tries to place players in America, and Scott said they've been calling him the last few years and just happened to call him on a day that they just lost a catcher. You got a catcher? Okay. And saw him on film, and all right, we'll take him. So that's how Yamato Sato came to be a Hastings sodbuster. And Kyle Hiltbrand swings and fouls it back off the press box and back into the stands. No balls and a strike on Kyle, who had an infield single and scored the lone run of the game. He grounded it back up the middle. Saw Drew Vega have an infield single as well after a sacrifice from Alexiel Delgado. And Sodbusters got a rare sacrifice fly to the first baseman. Bouncing ball to the left side. The shortstop's got it. Going to have to hurry. Throws in time. Good job there for Luke Bees as he guns down Kyle Hiltbrand on a similar play to when Hiltbrand reached 2 outs, nobody on for Alexiel Delgado.
Identical spot that Kyle hit in his first at-bat, just really punches it into the ground. This time a little bit easier of a play for Bees to make.
Delgado laid down a good sacrifice his first time up in this one. Alexiel, Carolina University Bruin, National Christian College Athletic Association. Pitch misses for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Alexiel. Business major there. Hit .336 in the spring, had 3 home runs, a triple, 12 doubles, 7 stolen bases for him. At 179 for the Sodbusters coming in, does have a homer on the year to go along with 2 doubles, 9 runs batted in. Homestand, 4 hits and 15 at-bats coming into today. Had a 2-for-2 day and last Saturday's doubleheader against Fremont. Bounces this ball foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Delgado. Not much offense for the Hastings Sodbusters in this one. Just 1 run on 2 hits. Haven't put much pressure on Pickens, just stranded 2. Last game, they had all kinds of base runners, but just couldn't bring them home. 15 stranded for the Sodbusters in the opener, and Nebraska only stranded 4. So it really felt like you had the chances to win that in so many ways. Didn't happen, and now Hastings, unless they can rally late, will lose for the 4th straight time after they won 6 in a row, and that's baseball. If you can just stay away from the long losing streaks, keep those winning streaks going, that's how you get the good records. And the pitch is in there for a strike. Another strikeout on the day. That's 10 in 5 innings for Cameron Pickens as we will head to the 6th inning. It's still 2-1, the Nebraska Prospects. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris, plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
Out of the 6th inning, the new Hastings Sodbuster pitcher will be a left-hander, but it's not either of the 2 guys I was theorizing. Xander Hardy, who actually pitched last night, he only faced 2 batters, so he gets a chance to come right back and try to keep this a 2-1 game and to take us home with a victory. Come from behind. I got a feeling it's Ryan Valenta who's going to bring us home to a win.
Let's do it, shall we? Just a 1-run ball game. I think a lot of people are forgetting that. I keep forgetting that myself, just with the energy here. In the second game, it feels like the Sodbusters are completely out of it, but they just need 1 run to come back and at least tie the game and force the pressure on the Prospects. And Xander Hardy again making the appearance as he just pitched last night. He only faced 2 batters in his relief appearance. He walked 1 and struck out. He walked 1 and allowed 1 to single. And he was just a matchup guy as he was asked to face 2 left-handers. And both of them reach, and then the Sodbusters went to the bullpen with right-handed batters coming up. And he will take aim at the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Nebraska Prospects. Jackson Trout, Jacob Perrin, and Paul Schuyler scheduled up for the Nebraska Prospects. Jackson Trout making his prospect debut in this game. He was a guy that saw action for the Prospects last season and was a sodbuster killer on offense. He takes strike one. He's been relatively quiet. He did drive home a run in the second, but it was a ground out. He's 0 for 2. He struck out swinging his last at-bat against Jude Sundquist. That one just misses. Yamato Sato takes a look back at the home plate umpire Daniel Roth. Not agreeing with the call, and Sodbusters have been at odds a little bit with the strike zone in Game 2. Jackson Trout into left field, and Ryan Jarvis gets there on the run for out number 1 with a nice running catch. So Trout retired for the first out of the inning. Jacob Perrin will be the next batter. It's been a relatively quiet game offensively for the last few innings. Prospects have only had 3 base runners in the last 2+ innings and have not scored since the second. Both of their runs in the second inning. Sodbusters with their 1 run in the third inning. Swing and a miss for the next batter, Perrin. Perrin singled home the game's second run in the second, and then he was hit by a pitch in the fourth inning, but then he was caught stealing. He sends that one deep to center field, and that will be over the head of Alexiel Delgado. He misread it. It goes all the way to the wall, and in at third will be Jacob Perrin. Alexiel Delgado froze. I don't know if he lost it or thought that he had it measured up, but it is well over his head and ends up going all the way to the 408 sign. It's a 1-out triple for the Prospect left fielder.
That is a big hit right there. This insurance run looming large. Can the Sodbusters work around this on the shot from Perrin?
That one, I'm going to say, knew it was sent very far off the bats. Not sure if Delgado just misread it or lost it initially. It can be tough on those moonshots this late in the game with the lights and the pitch black. Paul Schuyler will try and get his teammate home. Schuyler 0 for 1 has struck out looking and walked. He's also stolen 1 base. Past 11 p.m. Central Time here at Duncan Field. Hardy pumps in a strike. Xander Hardy's been one of actually many left-handed arms on this Sodbuster team. Left-handed pitching can be coming at a premium for some teams. Sodbusters are not one of those teams. I can think of just at least 5 left-handers on the Sodbuster roster. And speaking of the roster, we look up and down and guys who have had seen playing time this season, besides one guy, Matthew Work, who is unfortunately forced to leave the team due to an injury, we've had pretty much everybody stay on this Sodbuster team. We saw a lot of turnover last season, guys getting the call from their college head coaches saying, got to come back. Guys having it not work out on the team, whatever the reason it may be. It was high turnover, and times they were scrambling to bring new guys in. And with pitching at a premium too, that was also a big issue for the Sodbusters last season. But a much different team than we saw last season. Took them 10 games to win game number 1 last season, and they ended up on another healthy losing streak after that first win. But good to see some success brought back to Hastings. So Paul Schuyler's fighting well, fouling off some pitches with 2 strikes. Any ball in the outfield could score Jacob Perrin. He has stolen a base, so he's got some good speed. Payoff to Schuyler Inside for ball 4. Hardy just missed, striking out his first of the evening. Sodbusters playing their 7th game in this last 6 days here. Their last day off was last Sunday. Tough playing this many games in a row, but depending on who you ask, might also be super fun playing this many games in a row.
What'd you come here for?
Exactly.
Came here to play baseball.
Yep.
You bet.
And by the way, this isn't the only time this season the Sodbusters will play 7 straight games in a row at home. They will do so in the early part of next month. Ground ball to third, scooped by Welsh. He'll throw to second for 1. On to first, double play. A 5-4-3 twin killer gets Xander Hardy out of the inning and strands the 1-out triple. 1 hit, 1 left, no runs for the Prospects, as the Sodbusters will try and get something going in their second to last at-bat of the game.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Getting about that time at Duncan Field. Just a few more at-bats for each side in the second game of a 7-inning doubleheader. Sodbusters have the top of the lineup up in Drew Vega, Josh Printer, and Ryan Jarvis. Prospects 2 runs on 3 hits, and the Sodbusters 1 run on 2 hits, an error-free game to this point so far. Always nice to see some clean baseball. The pitching ledger for each side: 6 walks and 10 strikeouts for Sodbuster pitchers, and 1 walk and 10 strikeouts for Prospect pitchers, and it's only been one guy. It's Cameron Pickens, who is still in the game, aiming to complete his 6th inning of work. Just 2 scattered hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and double-digit strikeouts. Drew Vega swings and misses. With his hit in the 3rd inning, he now extends his hitting streak to 9 consecutive games. A hit in every game this homestand and even farther back. 1-1 to Drew. And Drew's had a very nice week, besides hitting as well. Sodbuster defense in the middle of the week. They looked like a major league team at some points. 1-1 breaking ball, and that's a beauty. Looks like that's going to come in and hit you, then drops in on the inside part for strike 2. Vega officially 1 for 1 on the day. His other plate appearance, he walked and was left stranded. High chopper, going to be a tough play. The shortstop will field and will not throw. Infield hit for Drew Vega. Another multi-hit game with his 2nd single and as many at-bats.
Great opportunity here for the Sodbusters. Want to get it done right here. Get a couple of runs on the board, shut it down to the 7th, and get yourself a doubleheader split just where you want to be in the order with 2, 3, and 4 coming up.
So that's 6 multi-hit games now for Drew Vega and his 3rd multi-hit game in a row. There is no Sodbuster hotter than Drew Vega. Josh Printer is next. He is 0 for 2, but oh, that's a balk. Oh, man, there goes the bar of soap from Cameron Pickens. Tried to come set and just lost it. Whoops.
It's about as easy a balk call as you're ever going to have. And what a great chance now. Printer trying to get him to third. You don't have to bunt him now. And be aware that Vega has the capability of stealing third, although it hasn't always gone well for Drew when he's tried to do that. So interesting situation here.
So the tying run in scoring position. Printer takes ball one just a bit outside. Printer was struggling on offense in this early part of the homestand, but he has since had a hit in 2 straight games, looking to make it 3 here if he can get one here. That one called on the outside corner for strike 1. Printer with an odd happening in the 3rd inning with Kyle Hiltbrand on third base. He popped out in foul territory to first base just in front of the Prospects dugout, and Hiltbrand scampered home with nobody covering. That is the game's only run for the Sodbusters. Printer lays off the high heat there to improve the count in his favor. 2-1. To the 47 of you on our YouTube live stream right now. Hope you're enjoying late night baseball and appreciate you sticking with us. The 2-1 pitch. Printer takes ball 3. Excellent take on the breaking ball there. Starts in the strike zone, disappears. Going to swing more often than not at those. Printer now in the hitter's count. Vega not being held on at second whatsoever. Printer takes a high strike for strike 2, and now he'll face a payoff pitch.
I'm surprised Vega's not getting a little bigger secondary lead there with his aggressiveness, especially a right-handed hitter. It's tougher for the catcher to throw down to third with that batter in the right-handed batter's box.
Paul Schuyler, the second baseman, keeping him honest. Runner not going, and Printer fouls it off. Printer pretty much the everyday guy at shortstop for the Sodbusters last season. He did see some time at first base and second base as well, as he was suffering some arm ailments late in the season, and just to rest that arm a little bit more, got some playing time on the right side of the infield. There's the payoff again. Vega bouncing off second, not going. Printer, ground ball, and it's flagged down by the shortstop. The long throw, it gets away. And here comes Drew Vega. Printer on his way to second, and he ties the ball game at 2.
Great job, man. When it came off the bat, I thought it was going to get into center field. Luke Beast, amazing job to get there, but then threw wildly. It's pretty much got to be an infield single, though, I think, and then an error. One way or the other, Vega comes home. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie ball game. I think an extra innings, huh? No, let's get this run across here and win it in the 7th, okay?
We could. And how important is that? The throw gets away. Printer takes second base. You could tell he was looking 3, too. He wanted to just have Ryan Jarvis come up, send one to the outfield, and get him to scamper home. But the Sodbusters still with nobody out against the starter, Cameron Pickens. He's now at 84 pitches, and head coach for the Prospects, Gabe Shemwell, is out there. Has not made a move to the bullpen yet. Probably talking strategy here with the potential go-ahead run in scoring position.
Official scoring gives me straight error. I think that's a pretty tough call, but E6 all the way, so no hit for Josh Printer, but the important thing is the run is home, and the potential go-ahead run is at second base with nobody out, with your 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up.
Andy, give your guy a hit. Come on. I wrote it down right away as a single in my book.
I did as well, but
take it how you want.
And I'm not the official scorer, so
we're not. Andy, we're giving you a hard time, but be a little bit lenient on your guys.
Hey,
if it's the other team, give them an error so they don't get a hit. Ryan Jarvis bats. The left-hander shows bunts and takes ball 1.
Just got to keep in mind, though, Andy is now a part owner, so we could be eliminated at any time if we try to give him too hard a time. So I'm just saying, you know. Although who else is going to be here at 11 o'clock? You have to call in new people. He's probably got us for tonight. So.
Andy, I dare you.
You guys are fired.
That's an excellent point. Talk more about that in just a second. As soon as Pickens delivers this 1-0 pitch, taking multiple looks. Ryan Jarvis, goodness gracious. Sodbusters cannot get a bunt down this homestand for whatever reason. But in addition to Scott Galusha and then the Frews, Tim Johnson, Trevor Overmiller, and Andy Chase, all now part owners of the Sodbusters, as they've got slivers of the Sodbuster teams that they now own. Drew Vega led it off with a single. Jarvis gets the bunt down, and the throw will go to first, and it is on the bag. That is a tough call. I think that is the right call. The initial foot came off the bag, but the other foot stayed on the bag for A.J. Lucas. And nonetheless, the sacrifice is successful, and the go-ahead run 90 feet away.
Now, Cale Jensen needs to put one in play, and we'll see the prospects bring the infield entirely in. So Sodbusters are actually going to go to the bench here with the 2 strikeouts earlier from Cale Jensen. We're going to get a look at Jackson Crane, and he's been Mr. Clutch during the course of this homestand. And how about another opportunity for Jackson Crane for the Hastings Sodbusters?
Yeah, we haven't seen Joel Skipper go to the bench too much to go for pinch hitters, usually liking to get his guys just a full at-bats. But with Jensen struggling at the plate with the strikeouts, selects to go for Jackson Crane. And he is going to do it. Jackson Crane singles home the game's go-ahead run. It's 3-2 Sodbusters in the 6th. Waiting no time at all. First pitch swinging on the breaking ball. Pickens hung it, and Crane banged it. Busters lead.
And Cameron Pickens, who has had a tremendous game, can only be the losing pitcher now, as he is going to be lifted from the contest after a tremendous outing. The Sodbusters finally get a little offense here in the 6th. They're not done yet. We'll have a new pitcher coming on for the prospects as Hastings has taken a 3-2 lead.
There's some life now in the Sodbuster dugouts. An excellent comeback here in the 6th inning, as we will tell you about the new prospect pitcher after this.
Sodbuster Baseball is sponsored by Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. It's one of the many ways Jerry and Greg Spady, along with their families and employees, have proudly embraced a passion for giving back to the community. The folks at Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC realize the importance of enriching and improving the lives of their neighbors. They've accomplished this through philanthropy and active personal involvement. Featuring the top new and used inventory in the region and a certified service department, Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC, 2750 Osborne Drive East in Hastings, or at spady.com. Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
New arm on the mound for the prospects. Cameron Pickens, what an outing he had, but unfortunately not going to be the winning pitcher tonight as the Sodbusters get to him in the 6th inning to take the lead, and he is lifted for Kyler Hansen. Kyler Hansen played his high school ball at Elkhorn North, a Wayne State College Wildcats. On the mounds, they had an interesting season in the NSIC conference. Saw a little bit of a run in their conference tournaments, but ultimately fell after a couple of wins, ending their season. But he's going to be called upon to get the final 2 outs with the Sodbusters taking the lead. Jackson Crane, all he does is hit. Him and Drew Vega have been the guys that we have called upon a lot. If you remember at the start of the season, it seemed like Jack Borgman, Sawyer Duddleston doing all the offensive production, Jackson Crane and Drew Vega really getting the work done for this Sodbuster team late. Speaking of Jack Borgman, here he is with 1 out and a runner at first.
Love a little insurance here as the Sodbusters trying to keep this inning going.
So Crane is at first with his RBI single, and Jack Borgman swings and misses. He's got The batting gloves on again. If you remember last at bat, he lost the lumber and it went flying into the stands. Luckily, no souls were injured. And he takes strike 2 right down the pipe. How about the pitching, though, for the Sodbusters, allowing those 2 second-run innings? Those 2 second-inning runs, excuse me. But nothing since, and giving the offense a chance to crawl back into the lead. A delayed steal by Jackson Crane. The throw is horrible and into center field. Crane thinks about taking the extra base, but will hold up.
That's a big base for Hastings Sodbusters. Now any old blooper, you get that insurance run home from second. No action in the pen, so it looks like it's going to be Xander Hardy to have a chance to win this game in the 7th inning as the starting pitcher. But how big a lead will he have? You hope at least 2 with runner at second and only 1 man out.
Yeah, interesting development there. Crane did not go on first move, and it kind of caught the catcher Corey Kozat off guard. As Borgman goes down swinging, he's struck out for the 2nd time tonight.
The middle part of the order, well, I mean, really up and down. When the opposing team has struck out 11, you're going to have it pretty much team-wide, and it's amazing that the Sodbusters have a chance to win that with all of the guys going down on strikes.
Before the inning, the 4 through 7 hitters for the Sodbusters, 0 for 8 with 7 strikeouts. Tyler Welsh is the guy who struck out a couple of times. It's a flare. It's in to right field. Runner coming around third, and he will score. Jackson Crane crosses, and Tyler Welsh, when the team needs him the most, just a little fist job into right field and not being able to cut. Welsh gives the Sodbusters that important insurance run.
Welch with his 2nd hit in the doubleheader, his 2nd run batted in, and no bigger one than that for the Hastings Sodbusters, as Hastings now has a 2-run lead.
Definitely good to have some breathing room, and how about the Busters coming out for 3 in the bottom of the 6th? With the Sodbusters a chance to win it after they've been down most of the game. Yamato Sato bats, he's 0 for 2, has struck out both times. All started with Drew Vega's leadoff single. Josh Printer followed up with a quote-unquote single. Ruled as an error, but got on base nonetheless. Jarvis got the bunt down, and Sodbusters taking advantage of the situational hitting here in this 2nd game. Sato awaits a 1-1 and swings through the fastball, 1-2. Looking ahead to the prospects, bottom half of the inning, they're going to have their 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up, so you can argue that they have their right guys coming up, but it appears that Xander Hardy will be the guy to come out in the 7th inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Yamato Sato. With 2 outs, Sodbusters taking the lead here this inning. Just down low, and it's 2-2. Dedicated fans staying here will be rewarded with an excellent finish, as there still are dozens here in the crowd. Sato lays off the outside fastball to work the count full. So now with the full count, Tyler Welsh will get a head start. A gapper could mean trouble. We've seen the pop of Sato's bats if he can get a good barrel on it. And he pops it up down the right side. 2 guys coming over, and it will be... Was it caught? It was!
Wow.
Second baseman Paul Schuyler tumbling to the right side. It looks like he bobbled it for a second and tumbled over, but still made the catch. Well, that's big there. The prospects get out of it with a chance for the Sodbusters to add more. They take the lead with 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, and it will indeed be Xander Hardy to close out the game. We'll be right back with the final inning on Sodbuster Baseball.
Sodbuster Baseball is sponsored by Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. It's one of the many ways Jerry and Greg Spady, along with their families and employees, have proudly embraced a passion for giving back to the community. The folks at Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC realize the importance of enriching and improving the lives of their neighbors. They've accomplished this through philanthropy and active personal involvement. Featuring the top new and used inventory in the region and a certified service department, Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC, 2750 Osborne Drive East in Hastings, or at spady.com. Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
We're back at Sodbuster Baseball. While we were away, you can see the backup catcher coming off. It's Jude Sundquist doing some catching for Yamato Sato before he comes out. Xander Hardy just spiked a pitch, and you could hear Jude comically scream when it almost hit him, and then when he threw it back in the turf to Xander. So two guys having a little fun there. Fun to see, and it's just fun to see the Sodbusters back in this game. After the fourth, fifth innings were kind of a snooze fest for both sides. It is late. Like we said, these are college guys. They're staying up till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. normally anyways. At least that's what I was doing when I was in college. So they're used to it, and they're here playing some summer baseball. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Xander Hardy, who will try and get the win here for the Sodbusters. Hardy pitched last inning, gave up a one-out triple, but a huge double play. Another ball hit into center field, and Delgado out there measures this one up this time. Came in, then started back a little bit. Delgado was the fielder that got burned on that triple in the last inning, but reads this one.
And it's hard when it's hit right at you. Sometimes it's tough to get that depth perception. Delgado making a big first out there. And how about Xander Hardy? 1 pitch, 1 out. Finds himself 2 outs away from a Sodbuster victory. One to break a little streak and to get him in the win column for the first time this year.
Hardy, the left-hander, faces Corey Kozad. Just misses outside for ball 1. Kozad 0 for 1 today. He walked his first 2 plate appearances and then struck out in the 5th, but reached on a wild pitch. Off speed comes in there and finds the corner for strike 1. If you haven't had enough Sodbuster baseball, and how could you? 6:35 tomorrow night. We'll do one more time. Big swing and a miss. Strike. Yamato Sato threw it down to third base thinking that was strike 3. And you heard the dugout say, Sato, 2 strikes, baby. He fooled me.
Uh-huh.
You know, they've had some scoreboards getting late updated, so thought, oh, I just missed one. How about another one? And not this time, and it's a single into center field for Corey Kozad. With 1 out, it's a base runner for the Prospects in their last at-bat.
That insurance run looming larger, too. Not only getting 2, but getting that 3rd run across on the RBI single from Tyler Welsh. So that gives you a little bit of breathing room. Just see what you can get down here and get this guy. Don't worry about that guy at first, although you'd love to get a double play here and eliminate them both.
Prospects open the scoring with 2 in the 2nd. Sodbusters with 1 in the 3rd and 3 in the home half of the last inning to take the 4-2 lead. Ashton Graff Rowe bats. Seen his first playing time against the Sodbusters this season. And for good reason. He was at the Junior College World Series. Graff Rowe today is 0 for 3. He's struck out twice and lined into a double play. You'd love to put all that behind you and keep this line moving for the Prospects. It's never fun to have an 0 for of a day, but it's the name of the game sometime. Graffro was 0 for 5 in the first game of the Twin Bill. Inside corner strike, and doesn't agree with the call there. 2 balls and 1 strike.
A couple of guys getting loose in the Buster pen if Xander gets into too much trouble here.
Now we wondered if anybody was even available. There's a big swing and a miss by Graffro. He's down to his last strike. But even though the Sodbusters have gotten into trouble really the past 3 games defensively, they've really been able to manage their pitching pretty well. Having their relievers go long innings for you has helped a lot. Strike 3 called on the inside corner, and Graffro is struck out looking. 2 outs.
And you look at some of the big defensive plays, which kind of seemed like afterthoughts during the course of this game. The 4-6 line out double play. You had the caught stealing from Yamato Sato. Last inning, the 5-4-3 twin killing, all allowing Hastings to stay close enough. And that all gives them the chance to get the 3 and the 6th, and now 1 out away from an improbable victory here today.
Fouled back to the screen. It's Trent Berry. Berry was hit by a pitch in the second inning, came home to score the game's first run. But he's just 0 for 1 today as he has walked and struck out. 1 more out to get, and this marathon is over. Hardy with 1 more. Fouls it back to the screen, and now the Sodbusters a strike away. Lifeless for the first few innings, even the middle half of the innings. But a 6-inning outburst has the Sodbusters primed to take this one. Hardy with the 0-2 pitch with 2 outs. Fouled out of play, and it remains 0-2. Berry staying alive. Another pitch to come. Hardy takes a look at the runner, delivers home ball 1. Kozan actually got a pretty decent lead before Hardy even threw the pitch. He's already stolen 2 bases today, but did not go on the pitch. Feel like he could have had the bag stolen if he did go. Again, his run does not matter. It's the man at the plate. Off the fist to Printer. He scoops it up, dishes to second in time. The Sodbusters have pulled off the comeback victory with 3 in the 6th inning to win it 4-2. That's 3 games in a row of losses snapped. Sodbusters are back in the win column. And how about it? A team that could have just coasted to the 2-1 loss comes through in the bottom of the 6th to pull off the victory. We'll tell you all about it. We'll get the coaching perspective as well, as the Sodbusters are back in the win column after 3 straight losses.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Dog Roll Patrol provides reliable and professional pet waste management services in the Hastings area. Hire Dog Roll Patrol today and spend more time enjoying your furry friends and less time cleaning up after them. Depending on your location and number of pets, Dog Roll Patrol will work with you to come up with a schedule that best fits your situation. Dog Roll Patrol takes great pride in their work. Family owned and operated out of Hastings. Get a free quote and details on the services at dogrollpatrol.com.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
How about it, folks? Sodbusters win it 4-2 in a game that we thought was going to slip away from the Busters, but they snapped that 3-game losing streak and improved to 14-8 on the season. And very important because, this team's still battling for just moral victories, too. It's easy to just slip away and just let that carry over into the second half of the season when that second half of the season is going to be very important. But Sodbusters coming up clutch when it mattered most in that second game after the disappointing first game loss, and just good to see the guys bounce back after that heartbreaking first game loss.
Yeah, it sure didn't seem like a whole lot of energy in the dugout for Hastings, or for that matter, the Prospects. It was such an emotional roller coaster. 9 innings in the first game with the Prospects winning 8-6. And I think both teams were kind of a little bit sleepy. But for Hastings to do it coming from behind, a really courageous effort for Jude Sundquist, who didn't have his A control, but he battles his way through 109 pitches, 5 innings, allows only 2 runs. He strikes out 10, but he walks 5 and hits 3. But then there was some great defense played behind him. You remember that 4-6 double play on the line out. You had the caught stealing from Yamato Sato. A little bit later on when Xander Hardy came in, he was able to induce a 5-4-3 double play. So the Sodbusters playing errorless defense in that second game and just keeping him close enough to give yourself a chance late. They had the 1 run to make it 2-1, and then 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Guys stepping up. You had Vega with a multi-hit game. Printer put the ball in play, ruled an error. And then the RBI single from pinch hitter Jackson Crane. What a week he has had. He gives his team the lead. And then Tyler Welch, big insurance RBI. So really clutch performances. And Xander Hardy, first win for the Sodbusters. Probably not the guy you're thinking of high leverage who's going to be stepping into to that kind of situation. And he does the job. He puts 2 zeros on the board, and he's a winner.
Very impressive by Xander Hardy to lock it down. And like you mentioned, the courageous effort by Jude Sundquist to just keep it going, too. And you wondered with the command loss, and you forgot the 3 wild pitches, too. Just everything super wild, almost like the guy who throws 105 in the major leagues, but he might throw it at your head every other time. But heck of an effort by Jude to keep the guys in the game when it looked like that they were about ready to tumble over in that late game. Take a look at your final numbers here. As for the Sodbusters, 4 runs on 5 hits. They recorded 2 hits from Drew Vega, extends his hitting streak to 9 games, and 5 multi-hit games now on the season. Jackson Crane with the pinch hit RBI single. Tyler Welsh with the RBI single. Kyle Hiltbrand had an infield hit for the 5 hits for the Sodbusters. Again, Sundquist going 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 5 walks, 10 strikeouts. And the Sodbusters, Xander Hardy going 2 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. For the Prospects, 5 1/3 innings from Cameron Pickens, tough luck loser, allowing 4 runs on 4 hits, and 3 of those runs coming in that 6th inning. 1 walk and 10 strikeouts. Man, if you take away the runs and the hits, if you have 4 hits, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, you don't think you're going to lose a lot of those games. And then coming in relief, 2/3 of an inning on 1 hit and no walks and a strikeout for the Prospect reliever. But good win for the guys, and it's late, so we're going to give the guys a break here. We won't hear from the coaches today, but we'll hear from them tomorrow before the game, before the Sodbusters play their 8th game in 7 days. But we'll be back right here for it, so feel free to join us. But Steve Stein, like you said, in between breaks is what we sign up for. Just good to see some baseball here.
And great to see a win after a long day like today. You almost feel like the wrong team won both games because Hastings had all kinds of chance to win it in the first. Prospects probably think there's no way we can lose this game the way our guy pitched. But Sodbusters coming through when they need to, and a lot of intestinal fortitude. I mean, you mentioned it. When you've already lost first game of the day, not going well, and for them to come back and win this one, this can be a streak-building kind of win, and hopefully they can come back and win the series tomorrow.
Exactly. One more game for the Prospects. It'll be a rubber match, with the winner taking 2 out of 3 games of the series. Sodbusters improve to 14-8 on the season. Prospects fall to 5-9. One more game of the Independence League season, and then we'll say so long here at Duncan Field for about a week time. Sodbusters really off for a lot here at home. So your last chance tomorrow afternoon, evening rather, 6:35 p.m. start time between the Nebraska Prospects and the Hastings Sodbusters. I'm Ryan Valenza. Steve Stein was saying good night, saying thank you again to Noah and Connor next door for running the numbers and keeping the score on here. Appreciate you joining in. We're almost at midnight time, so we're going to go home and crash, but we'll see you here tomorrow night. Have a good one.
Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Get the ultimate fan experience at a Hastings Sodbuster game this summer. Enjoy high-level collegiate summer wood bat baseball at the beautiful and historic Duncan Field in Hastings. Baseball and a whole lot more. Affordable family fun. That's what the Sodbusters and the Independence League are all about. Sodbuster Baseball. It's your team.
Catch the spirit